Welcome back to the Spy Shack podcast, where Survivor superfans get together and talk of the latest episode of Survivor. I am your host, Perspective, and with me are my co-hosts. Randy, how are you doing? And while you're answering that, give me one word to describe the episode.
I am doing well. I'm just here being a Cardinal fan and hoping the Cubs lose. And my one word would be redheaded.
And Kim, how are you doing today? And give me one word to go ahead and describe the episode.
I'm doing okay. Just like I've said before, I want to say that I love and I miss my son every day. And predictable.
And we're waiting on Mark. Once again, he's across on the other side of the world, so sometimes he gets a little bit late. But what my one word would be, I don't even know what the one word would be. Loud. Loud. We'll talk about why I said loud in a little bit. Here, people in the chat, what do you guys think of the episode? What is your one word for the episode? We'll get back with you all in a little bit. All right, Randy. Well, let's talk about the tribes before we actually talk anything big. Let's talk about pre-immunity. What did you think of the Hustlers this week?
Well, the Hustlers, as they got back, didn't really seem to care that they just eliminated Simone. They just took all her clothes that were there. That was a fun little segment of them just playing around in the leftover clothes and boots that she had. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a fun little segment going on. You can definitely tell, you start to see the cracks in the tribe forming, especially towards Patrick, mostly between Patrick and Lauren, but the others kind of see it too. So you're starting to see that. Eventually, as the episode goes on, they start to get worried about Patrick searching for idols, going on an idol hunt, which everyone does it. You know what I mean? But I guess you really just can't be as upfront about it as he was.
Yeah, it was too noticeable. I mean, yeah, everybody looks for idols, but some are better than looking than others, and he made it very obvious. And Ryan, who I think just was already targeting him, pointed it out. And in my opinion, it seems that Ryan, of all people, is the leader of that group.
Yeah, there was also some really sketchy editing there, because if you notice, Patrick walks away in his red boxers, and they all look at him, and then they show him in his shorts, searching for an idol. There is a little bit of weird.
I did not catch
weird editing there when I rewatched that. I was like, that was put together interesting. But
as long as it's not like I used to watch this show called Flip This House, and the edits between one of the people that came on the show was like clean shave to a beard, clean shave to a beard. As long as it's not that noticeable.
Well, it wasn't that noticeable, but I noticed that today, so I thought that was odd. But then eventually we see a sit down between Patrick and Allie, where Allie basically kind of warns him that if you don't calm down, things aren't going to turn out well for you. So
he took that news in two ways. He was happy she shared it, but then he felt like, but this is who I am.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, but you can sometimes change who you are. You have to be a chameleon in this game, and you have to change who you are all the time because your game depends on it. You have to be fake. It's okay to be fake because, and I don't mean fake mean, but fake phony. What people want because you want them to keep you. And she told him that, and he was happy, but then he was like, but this is who I am. I'm like, well, look what happens.
Yeah, I think, look at it two ways. I get why Patrick is going to say this is who I am, and I'll give him credit for not wanting to change who he is to impress others or to fit in with the others. But at the same time, you're playing a game for $1 million, and part of the $1 million game is that you are supposed to be social and you're supposed to get along with everybody in there, or at least as long as the majority of everybody in there. That way, you can go far, get to the final, and win. And it's not going to happen if you're upsetting everybody on the tribe or upsetting. I mean, like I said last week, he was starting to annoy me, and I'm not anywhere close to being where he's at. And I don't know. It's just he really should have taken that talk with Ali a lot more serious and with what is it, with a grain of salt, because he cost himself $1 million, or at least a shot at the $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and forth with Patrick. There's times I liked him, and then there are times he annoyed me. I would go back and forth. Sometimes his craziness was quirky enough for me to like, and then sometimes he just irritated the crap out of me.
Yeah, I think his crazy was good for the show.
Yes.
I think that's
good TV. I mean, for me,
I thought he was good TV.
For me, at the end of the day, I want to be entertained. That's why you'll watch particular shows, and not Survivor so much, where competitive shows like Project Runway or something, and people who will stay longer don't deserve it because productions in the ear of the judges saying they make good TV, keep them longer. Like not Desperate Housewives, The Bachelor and Bachelorette. They keep them longer. Hell's Kitchen, they keep them longer because they're good TV. Patrick was good TV, but
I agree.
Anything else we want to add on about the Hustlers tribe?
I love Ryan. That's all.
Yeah, not too much for immunity, but I think there's some good people on the tribe.
Yes, I agree. Ryan and Allie are really great.
I'm still a big fan of Devin. I think.
I really like Devin.
I think Devin is very underrated.
He is. We all thought he was going to be Taylor, and nobody wanted him in the draft.
I'm going back to the whole Simone and everybody just taking her clothes. Did she not know? Did she not even consider that she was going to go home that night? Was she that confident, or I don't? Or what happened? Did she leave it on purpose just in case?
She was on Survivor. I don't honestly know what she came in there for. I mean, did you see the boots? When I saw the boots, I was like, "Is that what she brought?" I mean, why would she even bring those? I think that is she from New York?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm from Jersey. She's typical New York. And it's just, she's a city girl. Why she tried out for Survivor, I don't know. She could have tried out for Big Brother, and they put her on Survivor because she was out of place.
I was trying to remember if I remember in that clothes, and I can't recall if she even appeared in that much in the premiere enough for me to even see her in that clothes. But this is not
the clothes, but I remember the boots because they were knee-high boots. They were flat-footed, but they were knee-high boots, and that stuck out to me.
Yeah. And so let's go ahead and talk over the Heroes tribe, and I'll ask Kim to go ahead and give us the rundown of what happened on the Heroes tribe.
Not too much has gone on. Actually, she's kind of crushing on JP a whole lot more. I didn't see JP say too much about her. I mean, I think maybe he likes her, but I don't think he's as smitten as she is. He
kind of made some comments last week that kind of go along with Ashley's, where he mentioned last week, he's like, well, if we're a power couple, we might as well be like making out or something. He made some comment like that he's like, we're getting the label, but none of the benefits. Like he
doesn't like Jessica.
Well, that, yeah.
Alan, he wasn't crazy this episode. I didn't see too much, unless I'm just drawing a blank. I didn't see too much of Alan going crazy, but they did talk about his craziness. It still seems that Chrissy and Ben have this alliance where I think that it's a good one. I don't know how it's going to go forward with swaps and merges, but they're a great tribe. Even though they're not my favorite tribe, overall as a team, they are connected, very good. I think for Alan, it's good there's a swap coming, but they are overall a power team. And I think this swap coming up is going to hurt this entire tribe.
I think it's good for Alan, depending on what
Yeah,
tribe he gets
it
on.
is good for Alan depending on what tribe he goes on, but overall they were a force to be reckoned with. They had a good, other than Alan, who just is crazy. They were a good. I can't think of it. I don't want to use the word alliance because they're not an alliance, but team. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know if I fully agree. Like, I'm really not impressed with the Heroes tribe at all. Uh, to me, I think they're kind of a mess. They have a couple good people. I like overall as a whole. I'm not a fan of a lot of the characters that are on that tribe or a lot of the
Oh, I'm not.
players,
No, I'm not a fan of
and I
the
don't.
individual characters, but I think together they they do good together. Like singly, once they get separated, they're going to be just
Yeah,
gutted if they're not all on one tribe. They are going to, because they don't lack those social skills that they have, like on the Hustlers. They just don't have that. My favorite tribe is the Hustlers. Yes, I know everybody loves the Healers. I love the Hustlers, probably because I love Ryan and Devin and Allie. I just love them. But yes, they're boring too, but I just think they're a good power team. If I'm making sense.
Yeah, no.
I'm just not sure. I fully agree. I'm just not impressed.
Alan, I think as long as he doesn't chop his hand off, trying to open those coconuts, he's okay there in the heroes. As long as he doesn't blow up again. But at the same time, I think his blow up in episode one, if he were to stay on the heroes tribe and they go to tribal again, I think he's in trouble now. And so I think the merge
I think so too. I think Ben, who is a fantastic player, and if he doesn't make it to the end, it'll be a disappointment because socially his game is one of the best. He's physically a great competitor and he's entertaining. He is everything you want for Survivor. And he's great. So I'm hoping that they don't cut him.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there. That I definitely could see Ben being the type of guy that gets lost in the shuffle.
I'm hoping he does
Like
because he's one of my favorites.
not too weak to get rid of, but then he's not also like the big young like muscular dude that's gonna like look like a huge threat. Like I think that he may fit in that sweet spot of being like unassuming when you look at him, but like super strong and actually has a game mind to him.
I think the same, maybe not super strong, but I think the same with Ryan. Ryan,
Yeah.
he has that great social game. He is a competitor, and he's the type of guy that could just go along. He's not too threatening. He's not weak enough to be like, I'm done with him.
If he makes
I love Ryan.
If he makes it past these swaps, I think he has some stuff to be worried about in these swaps.
He does, and I think he's a great social. I think he has a great head game.
Too. Yeah.
So let's talk about the healers, and I'll take over what happened with the healers. So we have Jessica and Cole who are connecting while once again they're fishing out there, and we saw that in the last episode. They're the ones out there in the raft and fishing, and hopefully not swimming over the hidden immunity item. So and we saw that in the last episode when there was some sort of romance starting to spark, and we see it more in this episode with Cole being really infatuated with Jessica, and Jessica looking like, it looks like I'm interested too. And she even says that in real life she's a slug, but in Survivor she doesn't seem to be anywhere near the speed of a slug.
My headphones fell out. I find her and Cole to be the boring showmans. They are both quite boring. She might not be a slug, but she's boring. She doesn't really. They haven't had to do much because they're winning again the challenges. So there's not much happening for their tribes. So they don't focus on them too much. But her going out in a raft and watching Cole fish. I mean, I really don't think that's much different than a slug. I don't know. My opinion. I find her boring.
Well, I think we don't
And I
get a
know
lot
Randy's
of
gonna
the
disagree with me. Randy probably likes her. We don't ever agree on the women.
we don't get a lot from Jessica, Desi, or Rourke, because
Desi, we did see
a little bit
yesterday.
more. Yeah,
We
Yeah,
did get
both
a
of
we
them
don't
little.
get, but overall we don't get to see a lot of them
You don't.
because they're winning.
Yes.
And unfortunately, because they're winning, we don't get to see what they're like, or what they're actually going to be like once they have more
You
time.
don't, because they don't focus on
Mhm.
Rourke. They don't focus on Desi. They only focus on Joe, Mike, Cole, and Jessica. They don't focus on Rourke and Desi because you can literally forget they're on the show,
Yeah. So
especially Desi.
so Cole in this episode, because of all the romance thing with Jessica, he actually opens up and tells her about Joe having the idol, and right there they hatch a plan that maybe Joe might be the one to go, and we get to see that
Oh, okay. Um, getting to the healers. I don't. There's not much focus on them. Joe and Mike. Yes. So Cole wanted to get rid of Joel, and which I think was a good game move, but I also don't think it was good for him to tell everybody
Yeah.
that Joe had the idol. You can tell
Yeah.
telling Jessica it's fine, but then telling everybody else, it was pointless. And yes, it bothered Jessica, but I think it was also deeper, where she might have been a little jealous because when he confided in Jessica, it was this bond they had. And then when he told everybody else, there wasn't really that bond anymore because he's now telling everybody that Joe has the idol. But
Mm-hmm.
if they're not,
Yeah.
if none of them are with Joe, you know, Joe's safe for a while now that he has that idol with this swap.
I thought the timing of it was bad. I think the actual action of telling Desi and Rourke is great. It was just the timing was the problem there, because I think that you have to wait till you know you're going to go to tribal to want to use that. So I think that was
Yes,
what the
I
problem
agree.
was.
He should have waited until maybe they lost the challenge and then say, "Hey, listen, Joe's feeling really confident. Let's flush this idol. Let's get him to go home with it." But they did. He didn't. I think that once he told Jessica, it was like, now I can tell everybody, because it was that release of letting it out. And what Cole should have done, honestly, was tell Randy to go dig in the sand under the water, and then him find the idol himself.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue that I had on the healer's beach was, I think Joe is really rubbing everyone the wrong way. And you can see that,
Yes.
especially as the girls are cooking, and
He
then
spit out the food.
complaining about raw potatoes. Like what's the problem there? And I don't get it. Like, yeah, they don't taste good. Deal with it.
It's
Like,
not like you can't butter sour cream,
yeah.
salt and pepper. You're eating. So at this point, be lucky you have food.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. And especially, like, you can complain, but the fact that he's like nibbling on it and then just chucking it when Desi's right there saying, "I'll take that if you don't want it. I'm hungry." Like, and he just chucks
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
I think that was crazy. We really didn't see any of Dr. Mike this episode.
No, we didn't. I was gonna say that I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, you see him just in like the background standing behind people, and then he sits out of the challenge later, and we really don't see him at all. But we did see, as we said, we did see Desi and Rourke. And I
It's
thought,
Desi. I was shocked when I saw Desi. I tweeted, "Look, in
yeah.
case you forgot, Desi's on the show. There she is."
And I think the two of them did a good job of listening, taking in the information, agreeing with the plan without giving up too much of their game. I thought they both did a good job of that.
I agree. I still really like Rourke, and I think
Me
that
too.
Rourke has a lot left. I don't know what Desi has because I just don't know. I'm not saying she doesn't have anything, but just not enough of her to be seen. And I'm hoping that once this swap happens, that we can focus more on some of the healers that we really haven't seen. They do focus on the Heroes tribe, even though they win. But
Mhm.
there must be more going on that beach. There must be nothing going on in healers. It must just be really boring because I remember Probes saying once at a finale that it's really boring.
Oh yeah.
You don't want live feeds of this show because it's boring. And when they showed the clip of Dan,
Yep.
when Probes roasted Dan live on TV, I was like, yes, because they've never done that before and never did it again. But so there's probably not much to show. If there was stuff to show, they'd film it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But with what you're saying here, I don't find Cole and Jessica boring. And I think I think they obviously get compared pretty quickly to Taylor and Figgy because that's our most recent romance that we've had on the island out there. But this one is.
The reason I don't think it's the same is
But
Taylor was dopey and stupid. I don't find Cole to be that.
I agree, but this one they're showing a lot more positively because they're showing it from their perspective instead of showing it from other people's perspective. We learned a lot about Taylor and Figgy through the eyes of Michaela on Millennials Remix and her reaction to all that. From this one, we're seeing it all from Jessica and Cole. I think Jessica is very cute, very fun. I really like Jessica. I thought she was going into the season. I thought she was gonna be super boring and forgettable, but I think she's actually fun. Cole is a little bit odd. He speaks very strangely, in my opinion. The way he carries himself is just a little bit. I don't know. There's something weird there, but I think he's very smart, and I hope he does well in this game. I like Cole.
I like.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can. But I think Jessica is bad for his game. I think Cole is bad for Jessica's game too. I always think showmances are bad for each other's game. Yes, it's worked with Rob and Amber, and it worked with
But they aren't being too upfront about it. I think right now. I think they're being pretty low key. So we'll see if that stays that way.
Yeah, I think the reason I want to agree with Randy that they're being low key is because no one else in the tribe, or at least that what we're being shown, is talking about it. They're not getting annoyed by it or whatever. So the time that they are spending together probably isn't as much time as we think they are because of how the edit is.
Yeah, I like them both. I don't think either one of them are bad people or not nice. I just find maybe Jessica more boring than Cole. Or maybe they kind of make each other boring. Because I don't know. I want to see all these showmances separated. I like to see people play their individual games. I hate showmances other than Ika and Demetrius from BB Can. I hate every other showmance that's ever been on TV. So I want them separated, and I want to see people play their own game. If it's meant to be, they'll be together after the show.
So did you already get a chance to talk about Cole talking to Rourke and Desi?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
We basically finished up the healers.
Yeah, we talked about just not thinking that it was bad timing on Cole to just basically tell everybody that Joe ended Seattle.
Yeah, my PC decided to update without giving me a warning. So good thing
it's okay. We took over. I